Hey there, responders and RMPs. Chrissy Brooks here with hypothetical for week ending 8/9/2025. We've got some nicotine compound that we are dealing with. So grab your decision tree and let's get ready to jump in. So we're going to work through this decision tree, reading every word out loud because you know what? It's good practice. It's going to keep your mind fresh when that emergency situation happens. So this is our scenario. A box with a packing group 3 hazard labeled poison 6 and the markings UN 3144 nicotine compounds liquid 6.1 packing group 3 is leaking on a belt. There is a small amount of liquid on the belt coming from this box. There are no fumes that irritate the skin, visible fumes, smoke, or irritating odors. When you open the box, you discover multiple 2-ounce vape cartridges inside of the box. Some have been crushed and all are wet with the leaking liquid. Answer the questions below based on this scenario. Do not forget to check your prohibited poster on this one. So which box on our decision tree is this going to lead us to? I'm going to let you guys work through the decision tree. Like I said, make sure you're checking your prohibited poster and reading the fine print. Read the fine print. You guys hit your decision trees. We'll be right back. All right, so hopefully you guys got through your decision tree. So we start up here at the top. Yes, we've got a leaking package, so we're going to come over here. And yes, we've got a diamond hazard label. So we're going to come over here, and you know what? Poison 6 is right there. And this is our box of prohibited items, right? But if we turn to page, it should be on page 16 of your decision tree, you should have a copy of the prohibited poster. If you don't, take this decision tree to your management right now and ask them, I need a copy of the prohibited poster. Automotive has these. These are the same ones that go inside of the brown trucks. So go and ask your automotive mechanic if you can have a couple for your decision trees. Most of the time they've got a file folder full of 25 or 30 of them because they come in packs of 50. If not, reach out to me and I'll get you some. I'll get some headed your way. So make sure you've got this prohibited poster. So as we're looking at it, we've got our toxic 6 right here. But remember, I said read that fine print. So go check out this fine print right here. It says prohibited unless packing group 3 appears on or next to the label. Well, if we look at our box, I mean, that's our entire label is PG3, right? And we've got toxic. We know the skull and crossbones means toxic or poison. And we're in hazard class number 6, which we also know is poisons. So all of this tells us this isn't prohibited. So we're going to keep moving on through our decision tree. So this one's actually going to be a no. It's not in our, it's not in the prohibited poster. Come down to this one. We already discussed that it's something that is not allowed. It is something that's allowed in our system, but it's not one of these that we aren't allowed to clean up. Obviously not an edible liquid, so we're going to end up down here in our yellow box. We're going to have a designated responder be the one who is cleaning up this package. So yellow box. And then what response sheet did we use? Well, we are going to go to this one right here, Poison 6, Packing Group 3. It's so special that it has its own page. So let's go ahead and turn to that page because you know what? This isn't one that we deal with a lot. This hypothetical doesn't come up a lot. So go ahead and find your Poison 6 page. I should have had it there already. I think it's the last one. Oh, almost the last one. Okay, so here we are. Hazards. Fire may produce irritating or poisonous gas, may be poison if it's inhaled, swallowed, or absorbed through the skin. Material may burn but will not ignite readily. The material may be toxic as well as flammable. We're going to wear goggles, boots, gloves, and apron. Response action steps. Keep all sources of ignition away from the substance. Avoid any activity that will cause the material to become airborne. Solids, we're going to clean up any spilled material, no absorbance required, but we've got a liquid. To avoid any potential reactions, use only Zepsorbent until all liquids are absorbed and the proper Zep consistency is met. Stir with a wooden stirring stick until the mixture appears dry. Do not add any sodium bicarbonate to this material. No sodium bicarbonate, no clay-based absorbent, only Zep. Place the absorbed material into the lined spill tray using a plastic shovel, fiber broom, and/or a plastic dustpan. Ensure all spill residue is removed from the spill location. Transport the package to Package Service Center for further processing. U.S. Small Package. Designated responders shall refer to the waste disposal flowchart for proper disposition of the package contents and contaminated packaging material or debris. The salvageable portion of any package with hazardous material shipping papers must be repackaged in a salvage drum and returned to the shipper. Refer to decontamination checklist after the response and disposal procedure is completed. Decontaminate any areas of the body or equipment that may have been exposed by utilizing the decontamination checklist. All right, so for this particular damage, we're going to take our Zepsorbent. We're going to go out to the spill location, clean up any spilled liquid with Zep. We're going to get it all into our gray spill tub, head back to the DMP. Then once we're processing it, as we're processing that, we're going to absorb anything with our Zepsorbent, and then make sure that we get it all up into that spill tray. And then we're going to talk about what our next steps are. So as we are going through here, let's see which one of these. Do not add any sodium bicarbonate to this damage is what we're going to be marking for that question. Hopefully these are yeses. You can get into ETT. You can get in with your own token and username. And then I know I need to get to that waste disposal flowchart through ETT and the quick reference guide. So as we're going through this, I'm actually going to minimize this. We're going to go back up to the waste disposal flowchart in our quick reference guide and use it. Let's see, we need page there. Whoop. There it is. All right, page 6. So, spilled or leaking liquid or powder, yep, surrender to the DMP. Did it spill outside of a vehicle? No. Didn't enter a drain? No reportable quantity. Does the spilled product fall into one of these categories? Contains nicotine or other acute hazardous waste? Well, yes it does. So we're going to click right here on Appendix O, and it's going to take us down here, and then we're going to go through the nicotine or the acute hazardous waste, the acute hazardous waste flowchart. So go ahead. I'm not going to read this to you guys. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and read it, but these are our 4 chemicals that we're looking for if we're looking for acute hazardous waste. So if you've got any of these 4 chemicals in the product that you are solidifying, this is an acute hazardous waste, and you need to come to this page to go through it. So working through the decision tree for hazardous material, or excuse me, for acute hazardous waste, does the damaged package contain nicotine, sodium azide, nitroglycerin, or cyanide? Well, yes, we contain nicotine. Do not place the empty containers in the trash. Process with spill cleanup debris. So we're not throwing away the containers. We're not throwing away the cardboard. We're not throwing away anything. Absolutely everything that was involved in the damage has to be held on to. Does the damage contain nicotine? Yes, it does. In the facility, is the facility in whatever these states are? I know that Minnesota is one of them. Minnesota, reach out to Matt Zastro, Matt Casey. Reach out to Matt Casey. He's with Environmental, and he's going to help you Minnesota people. So Minnesota people, you're going to be calling Matt Casey to figure out what we're going to be doing with this nicotine compound in this hypothetical. Then we get a yes or a no here for everybody else. Then we're going to process that damage by following step 2. So here is our step 2. If the damaged package contains nicotine and not occurring in the following states. So it says to separate anything that is intact from anything from the batteries. We want to clean off the outside of everything. Then for vape products, we're going to put an exception in IVP that we are recycling it. Then we're going to process non-leaking containers through these nicotine recycle boxes. So each container, including loose vials, Ziplocs, all that, we want to put our batteries into individual little baggies because we don't want them, they're lithium ion batteries and they can't touch, remember? So we want to make sure everything is going to be getting individually bagged. Everything must be separated out, individually bagged up, and then you're going to contact your environmental coordinator who is going to get you this nightshade recycling box. So ultimately, in the end, you are calling your environmental coordinator. Read through this section of the waste disposal flowchart, or excuse me, of the operator's quick reference guide, kind of get the lay of the land, and then get on the phone with your environmental coordinator and let them know, hey, I've got nicotine, I need one of the nightshade boxes, and they're going to get you hooked up. So let's jump back here to the hypothetical itself. Oops. I have to make this waste just, oh, nope, haha, sorry. So which box on the waste disposal flowchart did we end up in? We ended up in the red box because we went to our operator's quick reference guide, Appendix O, to find out what to do with this nicotine. All right, what do you do with RCRA clean containers? In this case, we didn't have RCRA clean containers because this is an acute hazardous waste and they don't fall under RCRA guidelines. But if you have a RCRA clean container, so your bottle is empty, less than 1 inch or less than 3%, we're going to be able to chuck that in the trash can. We are going to throw them away if they are empty. And then what poster do we use that tells us what diamond hazard labels are not allowed in the UPS small package system? We used it earlier today. Guess what? It's the prohibited poster. All right. And then I've completed my DOK for being a responder. It's early in the month, so if you got to get it done ASAP, that's totally fine. Just don't wait till the last week in case something happens. So hopefully, yes, already done. If not, work on that. All right, and then everybody's favorite page, go ahead, use the drop downs, find your information. If you're not in those drop downs, email this person that fits with your area. They will be able to get you get your respiratory indicator turned back on so that you can be on the drop downs. All right, that's all I've got for everybody today. Thanks for sticking around for almost 13 whole minutes. This is an important one because we don't really encounter it that often, and it's something that we really need to make sure we're doing correctly. So, got any questions, as always, reach out. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week. Be safe.